Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be texturizing a wig that I've had for a couple years, and I needed to replace that closure. So I'm relaxing the texture in the front so that it can match the texture of the entire wig. So here you will see that I'm adding my Mizani product. I decided to use the Moroccan clay steam mask. I actually allowed it to sit on my wig for 10 minutes underneath the dryer with a warm towel. That way it could infuse into all the hair strands properly. So the product that I'm using here is the Mizani Miracle Milk. That is one of my secrets when it comes to my curly and wavy hair textures. It honestly is the best. So I'm using this large tooth comb because I want to make sure I evenly distribute the product. You don't want the product to just sit on the outside of the wig. You want it to go into each one of the hair strands evenly. So you don't have to use a lot of this product. So I start off with using a small amount of it, and I'll go back a little bit later once I'm finished doing what I need to do, and I'll add a little bit more and kind of scrunch it through so it can dry properly. So I'm gonna go ahead on and put my wig cap on. As you guys see, my hair is short. I like to change my hair up all the time. Being that I am a licensed cosmetologist, that's just what we do. So I try to find stocking caps that are a little closer to my skin tone, which is not always easy. So as you can see, you want to make sure you protect your hair at all costs. Never put a wig on without a wig cap, because the cap that it's made on can actually snatch some of your hair strands out of your scalp. So you always want to protect your hair. So as I get this lovely lady on, my wigs are my friends. As I get her on and get her situated, I just wanted to fit the front part of my hairline as naturally as possible, making sure I'm tucking any of my loose hair in the back. And now I'm kind of just looking through this closure to make sure I'm not leaving any of the hair tucked underneath it, because I want to cut my fringe or cut my bang, since this is a new closure that's been added and texturized. This was a curly closure, so it's unfortunate sometimes as a wig maker. Some of our vendors that we use might not always have the same texture of hair that we need when it comes to replacing closures. So I just use a regular curly closure, and I use relaxer and texturized it to make it match the rest of the texture. So here you can see I'm kind of using a triangular parting in the front, and I use the middle of my eyebrow, so to speak, to measure off how much of the hair I really want in that triangular shape. And one of the reasons why I'm using a triangular parting in the front is so that when the hairs fall, they'll fall a little bit longer towards the outside of my eye versus it being too short. Like, I want that look to where it's a little bit shorter in the middle, and then as it gets to the sides, it gets a little bit longer in that fringe. That way it matches real nicely with the rest of the cut, and everything is balanced. And I don't like a blunt straight across bang. So normally if I'm doing any type of fringe, I either point cut, I'm actually going to twist my hair 3 times in a 360-degree turn, and then I'm going to use my texturizing shear to start taking off some of the length. So you might be thinking, why are you using a texturizing shear? Well, as a licensed cosmetologist, we know the difference in using our tools with what it is that we want to see. So in order for me to see that jagged edge and not have that straight blunt cut, and to make sure the ends are nice and tapered and it looks more natural, I'm using my texturizing shears to not only remove length, but I'm also using it to give me some texture towards the ends, and it's not so blunt. So right now I'm just trying to see if it measures off in the right spot before I cut any shorter. because y'all already know this is a wig. So once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm doing my checks and balances real quick right now. You can see I'm kind of like bouncing the hair up at the top. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I know once it dries, it's going to shrink up. So I just want to see what it's going to kind of look like once it dries. And that was still too long, guys. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to do that again. Yeah, that wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. And I twisted it a little bit tighter this time. And that's going to give me a little bit more height as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little snip. So I'm going to remove that length. Give it some nice textured ends. So if you notice, I used the language texturizing when it came to the relaxer that I added to the hair to release the curl pattern. And now I'm also texturizing the ends of the hair with my shears. So texturizing can be done in several different ways when it comes to haircuts and also defining curl patterns. All right, that looks about right. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, that looks about right. That'll work. So I know once it dries, it's gonna bounce up. And I like that sexy look, so I like to leave a little length in front of my eyes. I have really like chingy eyes, so it gives me more of an exotic look. Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. So as you can see, this wig is being revamped. This was cut a while ago. This wig started long. I decided to go ahead on and take her off and blend the haircut because I really couldn't see, and I wanted y'all to get an opportunity to see me cut this real quick. So basically what I'm doing is going through the hair. I'm finding the shortest pieces in the top, using that as my guide, holding it out at a 90-degree angle with my razor, and I'm blending, and I'm going through the back area at the bottom where it's a little bit shorter, and I'm just marrying those sections together. You can see I'm over directing that hair a little bit in the front because I still want to have a little bit of that triangular look. I just don't want it to be as sharp as it was. So now once it's finished and all dried, I added that moisture milk in there at the end of that cut. Remember, I used the Moroccan clay mask by Mizani to hydrate the hair, give it that moisture balance. And now that she's all dry, I let her air dry, actually, guys, overnight. I don't believe in like really putting heat to drying curly hair, but you can use a diffuser and then let the rest of it air dry. That's an option. But ladies, look, y'all see the softness? You see the movement in the body? This is why I like using razors on curly textured hair. And I mean, the curly hair community might want to beat me up, but as a licensed cosmetologist, it works well if you know what you're doing. Look at the back. The curls though, popping. All right. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted to achieve. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.